I found a way to connect with George Nelson because he wasn't part of like the daily projects. He wasn't the kind of boss that would come around and sit down with you and work with designers the way that I do here. He was hard to reach. But I noticed he would disappear every day around 4 o'clock. Like, I got to find out what this guy is all about. So I followed him, and he was going into we were on the 18th floor on Park Avenue on this really cool old building. And he was going into this giant restroom, this pink granite restroom, to access his cigarettes and his coffee machine that his wife, who was the office manager, would never let him touch. He had them hidden in the bathroom. He literally pulled a coffee maker out from behind the toilet from this, the 18th floor restroom. So I followed him in there, and he was an interesting character. So my first view, which I have still stuck in my mind, was him standing at the window that overlooks Gramercy Park, and he's sipping a coffee and smoking a cigarette. I see his knobby profile. And he was kind of a grumbly old guy. So he liked to complain about a lot of things. And so I kind of, gently started a conversation with him. And we ended up being really good friends because I went to the restroom with him, which is really weird, I know, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I knew his schedule. And we would just talk about design philosophy at the window overlooking Gramercy Park. And he would talk to me about how he started the Herman Miller Design Group and working with Charles Eames and what design really meant to him. And I remember being, at that age, I was so optimistic about design. Design could do no wrong. But George kind of like shook me into a new reality. He's like, "Are you kidding? Look at this stuff. Look out the window. Most of what you're looking at is crap." That's his word. And he was complaining about clients that didn't understand what excellence meant. He still had a joy of design within him. I learned some great lessons that I still sometimes reflect on because he was so thoughtful and so down to earth and full of wisdom.